Batting third and playing right field, Rusty Torrey. Batting cleanup and playing left field, Roy White. Batting fifth and playing first base, John Ellis. Batting sixth and catching, Thurman Munson. Batting seventh and playing third base, Ron Hansen. Batting eighth and playing shortstop, Frank Baker. And batting ninth and pitching will be left-hander Mike Kekich. For the Senators, leading off and playing center field will be Elliot Maddox. Batting second and playing shortstop, Toby Harrah. Batting third and playing first base, Frank Howard. Batting cleanup and catching, Rich Billings. Batting fifth and playing left field, Jeff Burrows. Batting sixth and playing third base, Dave Nelson. Batting seventh and playing right field, Del Unser. Batting eighth and playing second base, Tom Ragland. And batting ninth and pitching will be the Senators' ace right-hander, Dick Bosman. Boz is looking for his 13th victory tonight against 16 defeats. And Mike Kekich, the left-hander, brings a 10-9 record into this evening's contest. The umpires for tonight's game. Jim Odom will be calling the balls and strikes. Jake O'Donnell will be umpiring at first. Jim Honachek at second. And Lou DeMuro will be down at third. Manager Ted Williams is taking the Senators lineup out to home plate to meet with the four umpires and Yankee manager Ralph Houk. He is surrounded by a bevy of photographers as they record this historic scene at RFK Stadium. We'll be back with the start of tonight's final game in 1 minute.
Fleischer's Jewelers of Maryland proudly announces Patek Philippe, the royalty of watches. Throughout the United States and the world, there are only a precious handful of jewelers who are privileged to carry the Patek Philippe watch. Fleischer's of Maryland is honored to join the select group, and one look at Patek Philippe will tell you why. In all the world, only one watch in about 10,000 qualifies for the Seal of Geneva, which signifies the highest order of watches made in Switzerland. Patek Philippe is the only watchmaker whose entire production meets the requirements set forth by the Seal of Geneva. You'll find the seal engraved on every Patek Philippe. Patek Philippe, the royalty of watches. Now awaiting your discriminating inspection at Fleischer's Jewelers of Maryland in the Queenstown Shopping Center, Queens Chapel Road in Hyattsville. Open daily till 6:30, Thursdays and Fridays till 9. Before this ball game gets underway, let's pause for station identification. This is the Washington Senators Baseball Network.
WWDC, AM and FM, Washington. Where'd you get it? At Jack Amatucci Chevy City, where the action is on everything from Vegas to vets. Jack Amatucci Chevrolet, Veers Mill Road and Georgia Avenue in Wheaton.
Right-hander Dick Bosman, coming in from the bullpen where he was warming up, brings a 12-16 record into tonight's game. This is his 35th start of the year. He has 7 completions, an earned run average of 3.61 in 231 and 2/3 innings. He's allowed 237 hits, walked 69, struck out 110, served up 26 home run pitches, allowed 105 runs, 93 of which were earned, and as we mentioned, his ERA is 3.61. So Boz will try and wind up the Major League Baseball season, at least for 1971, hopefully not forever, but be that as it may, Bosman gets the assignment tonight. He is backed up defensively by Frank Howard at first, Tom Ragland at second, Toby Harrah at short, Dave Nelson at third. Jeff Burrows is in left field, Elliot Maddox in center, and Del Unser is in right. Rich Billings is doing the catching. Now Bobby Mercer, who still has an outside chance at winning the American League batting title, is in the leadoff spot for New York tonight. And that is simply to give Bobby as many at-bats as possible in the final game of the 1971 season. The crowd is still coming in. As we mentioned, there are probably between 10 and 15,000 people here tonight bidding their farewell to Major League Baseball in Washington. As Mercer stands in, it's our pleasure to call in our broadcasting partner, Tony Roberts. Tony?
Thank you, Ron, and good evening, everybody. Bobby Mercer, left-handed hitter, takes the first pitch low, a ball, 1-0. Jim Odom is the plate umpire, and oddly enough, Jim spent a good deal of his early umpiring career in the Texas League, 6 years. The 1-0 pitch by Boz, low and inside, 2 balls and no strikes. Dave Nelson, just off the grass at third. Tony Oliva leads the American League hitters, 331. It'll take a hot night for Bobby Mercer to win it all. He's batting 3-3-1. Oliva 3-3-7, Mercer 331. A ground foul first base side. 2 balls and 1 strike to Bobby Mercer. Merv Rettenman of Baltimore having a good year, 318. He's in the number 3 spot in the American League. And he's one of the features of the latest issue of Sports Illustrated. 2 balls and a strike. The young man who plays center field and can do it all. Run, hit, throw, swing and a fly ball. It beat the center. Maddox going back near the warning track. He's there. He's got it. 1 away. Mercer gave it a good ride toward left center field, but Maddox had room, and it's 1 down. That'll bring up the switch-hitting second baseman, Horace Clark. Composite averages 251, 22 doubles, 7 triples, 2 home runs, and 41 RBIs. As a left-handed batter, Clark is hitting 276 from the right side. He bats 218. Widespread stance, slightly open. Takes the fastball too low, and it's ball 1. In the National League, make that the American League, Chicago shaded Milwaukee 2-1. California beat Minnesota 3-2. Ball 1 pitch. Back to the mound. Off Boz's glove. Picked up by Ragland. Throw to first. 2 away. It appeared that the ball caromed off Bosman's glove to Tom Ragland, who picked it up through to Frank Howard. That'll bring up Rusty Torres. appearing in his 9th game. He's hitting .364 as a switch hitter. 3 doubles, 1 home run, and 2 RBIs. The pitch on the way. Breaking ball, swing and a miss, strike 1. Well, you'll recall Dick Bosman pitched the presidential opener, and the Senators bested the Oakland A's in Vida Blue 8-0. Last game of the season, and Bos is back on the hill. The 0-1, hit deep to right, way into the corner. Going, it is gone, and it is a fair ball. A home run for Rusty Torres. His 2nd home run of the year, his 3rd RBI. Torres coming around 3rd will step on home plate, and the Yankees have a 1-0 lead. That's the 27th home run ball served up by Bosman this year. The Yankees a run and a hit. Roy White, the Yankee left fielder. Straightaway stance, hitting from the left side. Bosman throws. Tries the butt, misses, a strike. Nelson back at 3rd after sitting out a couple of ball games with an injured wrist. Toby Harrell returns to shortstop. The pitch on the way. It's outside, and it's even at 1-1. 2 out. Nobody on, but the Yankees get a run on Torres' home run down the right field line. Bos delivers off the inside corner at the knees, and it's 2 balls and a strike. The San Francisco Giants win or the Los Angeles Dodgers lose tonight. It's all over in the National League West. The pitch. Cut on, sliced to left field, down the line, it falls in. Burrows tracking the ball down. White going for 2. Here comes the throw, and it's a stand-up double for Roy White. A slice over 3rd baseman Dave Nelson's head. Down the left field line, and Roy White has come up with a 2-base hit, his 22nd double of the year. And here's Johnny Ellis, the first baseman, a right-handed hitter. .239 average, 12 doubles, a triple, 3 home runs, and 32 runs batted in. Bos at the belt, throws the breaking ball too low, and it's ball 1. Bosman got Mercer on a deep fly to center. Clark and a bouncer to Ragland at 2nd. And then Torres homered over the right field fence in the corner. White sliced to double to left. Swinging a ground foul behind the plate. A ball and a strike to Johnny Ellis. Yankees have a run on 2 hits. Senators have won 11 and lost 7 in the series. They're 5-3 here at RFK. They wound up 6-3 at Yankee Stadium. Dick Bosman ready. And throws. Low. And outside. 2 balls and a strike to John Ellis. 6'2", 220 pounds. Senator outfield plays Ellis straight away. Bosman sets. White has his lead. Breaking ball popped up behind the plate. Billings may have a chance at it. It is just in about the 2nd row. 2 balls, 2 strikes. 2 outs. Roy White at second base. Plate umpire is Jim Odom. Bosman ready. Set to deliver the 2-2. Breaking ball. One hopper over to third baseman Dave Nelson's head into the left field for a base hit. White comes on to score easily as Burrows throws the ball into Toby Harrell. And the Yankees now lead at 2-0. So Ellis with a one-hop single. over Dave Nelson's head at third. Sends White home with run number 2. Hit number 3, all after 2 out. And the Yankees now have 2 runs, 3 hits. And Thurman Munson, the Rookie of the Year catcher in the American League last year, standing in. A .248 hitter, 14 doubles, 4 triples, 10 home runs, and 42 runs batted in. Fastball is low and outside, and it's ball 1. Rich Billings behind the plate. Nelson at third, Harrod short, Rags at second. Frank Howard holding the runner close at first. Third baseman Ron Hansen in the on-deck circle off to the left. The 1-0. Curveball cut on and foul back. And the plate umpire, Odo, makes a one-hand stab. Since this is the Senators' finale at RFK Stadium, the crowd here very responsive tonight. A ball and a strike to Munson. Slightly open stance. Bosman throws. Check swing ground ball right side. And that makes it 1-2. Bosman grabs the rosin bag. A ball and 2 strikes to Thurman Munson. 5'11", 195. Now Munson steps back and grabs some dirt. Dick Hauser coaching at third for the Yankees. Elston Howard at first. Breaking ball cut on, looped onto right field line. Howard giving chase, and Hondo can't get it. Takes one bounce on the dirt track and into the stands. 1 ball and 2 strikes. 2 outs. A pair of runs home. And Thurman Munson is the batter. Maddox straight away in center. Bar's ready. Checks the runner and throws. Swing and a miss. He struck him out, and that retires a side. Left the Yankees get a pair of runs on 3 hits. No errors. They leave a man on. And after a half inning, the Yankees 2, the Senators coming to bat.
Scott Burton ranks as one of the world's great romantics. Let's listen as he turns on the old chime.
Yeah, that's nice. That's nice. I suppose I should wait until I'm supposed to come in right. Okay. Yeah, let me do that. It's not ready yet, okay. Melvin Hernandez, my producer, told me not yet. Here it is. This is a poem for husbands to read to wives. It goes like this. Ever since that first marriage year, I've learned you're not quite perfect, dear. I've learned to tolerate your quirks, or just ignore them, and it works. It's getting so I now don't mind when coffee tastes like grapefruit rind, or when a $7 roast turns out as black as all your toast. But there's one thing I just cannot bear. Dear, please don't put starch in my underwear.
The Sound of Scott, 2 to 5:30 on WWDC.
The center half of the first will find Elliot Maddox, the center fielder, leading off, be followed by shortstop Toby Harrah, and then first baseman Frank Howard. Left-hander Mike Kekich has been staked to a 2-0 lead, all coming after 2 outs. You know, while we have a moment, there are so many people we'd like to thank, and we could spend the entire ball game doing so. We certainly want to thank all the stations along our network for carrying the ball games. We did hear from some of them today, wishing Ron and I well in the future, and we certainly hope that someday we can all come back, come up with another network and a brand new Washington Senator baseball team. Elliot Maddox, a .217 hitter, 7 doubles, a couple of triples, a homer, and 16 runs batted in. That one home run by Elliot Maddox is off the fella on the mound, Mike Kekich. Toby Hare in the on-deck circle. Left-hander Mike Kekich. 10 victories, 9 defeats. He's lost twice to the Senators this year, 3-1 and 8-0. Lifetime, he's 1-2. The pitch on the way. Inside under the chin, and it's ball 1. And the fans begin the staccato clapping. A very responsive crowd because of the occasion tonight. The 1-0. Hit down the right field side. Foul. Nelson Fox at first base. Wayne Terwilliger coaching at third. A ball and a strike. Kekich throws. A grounder to short. Ticket on the second half. Long throw by Baker. A little bit high, and they put the tag on Maddox as he goes by. A sweep tag play by John Ellis. The throw by Baker was high, and to the home plate side of first base. Ellis left the bag, leaped in the air, stabbed the ball, and with a swipe tag got Maddox just before he touched the bag. 1 away. There is shortstop Toby Hare. Batting .230, 11 doubles, 3 triples, 2 home runs, and 22 runs batted in. Yankees 2, Senators nothing. Bottom of the first, 1 out, nobody on. And the pitch. High and outside, a ball, 1-0. Toby has hit well this series against the Yankees. The 1-0 pitch. Fastball, cut on, past Hanson at third. Baker to the hole, long throw, not in time. He beat it out, a base hit. A bounder past third baseman Ron Hanson. Baker going to his right in the hole. Could not get enough on the throw, and Toby Hare has an infield hit. And that'll bring up Frank Howard, and the big guy who doesn't want to leave Washington is getting a standing ovation as he's about to step in at home plate. And now, plate umpire Jim Odom calls time. Now, guarantee you, Hondo would like to put one out of the ballpark. The pitch is inside a ball. 1-0. Howard hitting .278, 25 doubles, 2 triples, 25 homers, 82 runs batted in. Talked to Frank before the ball game. He says he'll not retire. He will play in 1972. Pitch is high, and it's ball 2. Horace Clark way over towards second, but there is no Howard shift per se. Ellis on the bag at first, holding Toby Hare close. Toby has 10 stolen bases in 19 attempts. Kekich sets. Throw over to first base. A leisurely throw to Johnny Ellis. 2 balls and no strikes. Mike Kekich, a left-hander, throws. Check swing high and inside at the letters. 3-0, and Frank Howard steps out and looks at third base coach Wayne Terwilliger. Yankees 2, Senators nothing. Bottom of the first. Hare leads at first. Kekich sets and throws. Inside, ball 4. A walk to Frank Howard. The tying runs are on, and that'll bring up catcher Rich Billings. Toby Hare at second. Frank Howard at first. 1 out. Rich Billings batting .241, 14 doubles, no triples, 6 homers, and 48 RBIs. Runners lead. Kekich delivers. A bouncing ball to Hanson at third. To Clark for one. Relay. They've got 2. A double play. And that retires a side. Around the horn. 5, 4, 3 for the Senators in the first. No runs. A hit. No errors. And a man left. And after 1, the Yankees 2. The Senators nothing.
Whenever you go to a lending company, you want not only personal attention, but service that's efficient and fast. Well, now you can really have it at Household Finance. HFC has just installed the largest commercial online computerized communications network in the world. It's called Orbit, and it's there to give you money service as complete and accurate and fast as computers can provide. With Orbit, we haven't lost our personal touch. Our people are still there to provide understanding and courteous attention. We just made it possible to give you even better service. Next time you need to borrow, visit Household Finance and discover the difference.
At Household Finance, you can borrow up to $1,500. HFC has 28 conveniently located offices around the Washington, D.C. area. See your phone book for addresses.
In the second, the bottom of the order for the Yankees, third baseman Ron Hansen, shortstop Frank Baker, and then pitcher Mike Kekich to face Dick Bosman. Ron Hansen, who's played with the Baltimore Orioles, Chicago White Sox, Washington Senators, New York Yankees, stands in. Batting .213, 3 doubles, 2 homers, and 20 runs batted in. And the pitch, swinging a foul back to the screen. That is 1 strike. He'll be followed by light hitting but slick fielding Frank Baker. Boz ready. The pitch on the way. Low and outside, right past Rich Billings, and back to the screen. It's even up. A ball and a strike. The 1-1 by Bosman. Inside at the letters, a breaking ball. It's 2-1. In the National League West, the Giants have at least a tie. A victory by San Francisco or a loss by Los Angeles, and the Giants are the division champions. A curveball cut on and fouled, one-handed by the batter in the on-deck circle, Frank Baker. The count is 2-2 to Ron Hansen. Boz looks into Rich Billings. And the 2-2's on the way. Just missing on the outside corner. 3 balls and 2 strikes to Ron Hansen. Ron hit .297 with the Yankees last year. Swings and misses. Strike 3, and that's strikeout number 2 for Dick Bosman, and his second in succession. Here's shortstop Frank Baker. Stands in hitting only .143, couple of doubles, and 2 RBIs. He bats from the left side, open stance. Deep in the box. Outfield straight away and not too deep. Boz throws, swings, and fouls that ball back into the box seats. 1 strike. Frank is from Meridian, Mississippi. Played in 35 games with the Yankees last year. Spent most of his time at Syracuse. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Breaking ball is low and inside, 1-1. And as Baker bluffs the bunt, Dave Nelson charges in from third. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Nobody on. Yankees 2, Senators nothing. We're in the second. Let up breaking pitch. Swing and a miss. 1-2 to Frank Baker, the Yankee shortstop. Well, a good crowd on hand tonight for the finale. The 1-2 pitch is inside at the knees. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Bosman is not a very fast worker. The 2-2 pitch. Breaking ball, too low. 3-2. Senator right-hander has great attachment to Washington. 3 balls, 2 strikes to Baker. Bosman throws inside and low, ball 4. So there's the first base on balls given up by Dick Bosman. And that's going to bring up the pitcher, Mike Kekich. Kekich throws left, bats on the right side. Howard will be at first base holding the runner close. And Bobby Mercer, who's leading off tonight in an attempt to come up with a hot night and capture the batting title in the American League, will be next. Throw to first base. Baker with a short lead. A bunt, pop foul by Kekich, first base side. 1 strike. Baker has stolen 3 bases in 3 attempts. No balls and a strike. Dave Nelson moves in now on the grass at third. Fires at the belt, throws, low and inside. 1-1. Tell you this, Bosman's not missing by much. He's right around home plate. Tommy Ragland at second base. Some limbered up calisthenics. Curveball bunted back toward the mound. Bosman picks it up, throws to Rags at second. And it's 2 away. Pitcher Bosman 1 to the second baseman Ragland covering 4. And now here's Bobby Mercer. Bobby came into the ball game hitting .331, 25 doubles, 6 triples, 24 home runs, and 92 RBIs. And he sent a pretty good shot out toward left center, but Maddox had room and made the catch. Mercer came into the contest trailing Tony Oliva by 6 points in the American League batting race. Oliva hitting .337, Mercer .331. Runner at second is Frank Baker. 2 outs. Bosman throws. There's a strike in the outside corner. And it's 0-1. With Mercer, a left-handed hitter, the infield and outfield pulled around to the right. Ragland and Howard deep at second and first. No balls, 1 strike. Mercer back in again. Bosman nods at the belt. Checks the runner Baker at second and throws. Low and outside. 1-1 now to Bobby Mercer. Well, like Mickey Mantle, he started as a shortstop, but moved to center field. Become a very fine defensive outfielder. Bosman ready. The 1-1 pitch. Curveball hit deep to right center. Going back is Unser. Going back is Maddox. It is gone. A home run. into deep right center for Bobby Mercer. And the Yankees now lead it 4-0. And that's home run number 28, given up by Dick Bosman this year. For Bobby Mercer, his 25th homer, RBIs 93 and 94. Again, the Yankees come up with a long ball after 2 out. And that'll bring up Horace Clark, the Yankee second baseman, who was thrown out by Tom Ragland the first time up. Bobby Mercer now 1 for 2. Swinging a ground ball to second. Take it on the second hop. Ragland over to Frank Howard, and that retires a side. But again, the damage is done. This time the Yankees get a pair of runs on 1 hit. No errors, nobody left. And after 2.5, New York 4, the Senators nothing.
Many kids in the District of Columbia, Maryland, and Virginia are not as fortunate as perhaps your kids are or my kids are. They don't have the security, the comfort of knowing when their next meal will be, or even the luxury of having a change of clothing. And to help meet the needs of so many people, WWDC is once again sponsoring our Clothe a Kid campaign for the upcoming school year. If you have any usable clothing for school-age youngsters, we hope you'll call WWDC's Clothe a Kid line at 589-7100. And we'll be very happy to send a representative to pick up the clothes at your home and at your convenience. Keep a kid in school by calling the WWDC Clothe a Kid line at 589-7100. And keep in mind, a better world is up to you. And we at WWDC thank you.
I might add that the baseball writers are paying this check also.
Jeff Burroughs will lead it off for the Senators in the bottom of the second. Batting .232, 9 doubles, 5 home runs, and 25 RBIs. The pitch by Mike Kekich. Breaking ball, strike, going 1. Or your station break, get it to you as soon as we can. Dave Nelson will follow, and then Del Unser. Swing and a miss. No balls and 2 strikes. Yankees now have 4 runs on 4 hits. Senators no runs and 1 hit. The Yankee lefty fires high and inside, 1-2. One ball, 2 strikes to Jeff Burroughs. Let up curve, hit high in the air. The shortstop, Frank Baker, says he'll take it. Just on the edge of the outfield grass and makes the catch. 1 away. Burroughs pops out to Frank Baker. And that's going to bring up third baseman Dave Nelson. Nelson batting .277, 11 doubles, 3 triples, 5 homers, and 33 RBIs. Swinging a ground ball in the hole in the left field, a base hit. A shot between third and short, and Davey Nelson has a single, hit number 2 off Kekich. Let's pause here for station identification. This is the Washington Senators Baseball Network.
WWDC, AM and FM, Washington. Where'd you get it? At Jack Amatucci Chevy City, where the action is on everything from Vegas to Vets. Jack Amatucci Chevrolet, Veers Mill Road and Georgia Avenue in Wheaton.
Here's Del Unser, the Senators right fielder. .256 hitter, 19 doubles, 6 triples, 9 homers, 39 RBIs. Nelson with a short lead. Dell tries to bunt the ball, foul tips it. Thurman Munson can't hold on to it, and it's strike one. Dave Nelson has 16 stolen bases in 24 attempts. And he tops the Senators in that category. Dave has come on strong in the base stealing department late in the season. And the pitch. Too high, it's a ball. 1-1. Hansen in on the grass at third. Baker at short. Clark at second, poised for the double play ground ball. The Yankees have one. And the pitch hit high in the air down the right field line. It's curving toward the stands, and it's going to be a foul ball. Rusty Torres giving chase. 1 ball and 2 strikes. The Del Unser. The Yankee double play was their 155th of the year. They pulled off 3 in last night's victory. Unser hitting to the left side. Close stance. Nelson leads at first. Yankees lead at 4-0. Kekich sidearms outside 2-2 to Del Unser. Bobby Mercer shaded toward left center. And the left fielder, Roy White, not too deep in left. Kekich at the belt. The 2-2 pitch. A bounder back to the mound. Kekich to Baker. Oh, he dropped the ball. The throw was low into the third base side at second. And Baker had to reach over, and he dropped the ball. They're giving an error to the shortstop. That'll bring up Tom Ragland, the rookie second baseman of the Senators. Rag's batting .158. 3 hits, 19 at bats. And the pitch. Inside a ball. He'll be followed by pitcher Dick Bosman. So the Senators have 2 on, 1 out. They threaten in the second, as they did in the first, a strike on the outside corner. Ragland was sent down, but he came on very strong at the end of spring training. Was getting a lot of key hits. A ball and a strike. Swinging a foul back. And it's now 1-2. Ragland has what manager Ted Williams calls grit. He'll hang right in there and battle you all the way. Dave Nelson at second. Del Unser over at first. Mike Kekich looks into Thurman Munson. Yankees with a 4-run lead. The Senators second, the pitch on the way. Overhand fastball is foul back. And it's 1-2 to Tommy Ragland. Have a right-hander warming up for the Senators in the bullpen. Kekich sets and delivers. Swing a line drive, 1 hopper. Off the shortstop, throw in the left field. Nelson rounding third, he's going to score. And the throw goes into the shortstop. Gets past him, is picked up by third baseman Ron Hansen. Another error by Frank Baker. A hot smash, a 1 hopper right at him. Paul Casanova trotting in now from the outfield. Dick Bosman is striding toward home plate. And let us see if he will hit. No RBI on the play. Second error of the inning by the shortstop. But the Senators do get a run. As Dave Nelson comes on to score, that'll make it 4-1.
Continue.
As Dave Nelson comes on to score, that'll make it 4-1. Dick Bosman will hit. Bos is hitting .093. He has one double. 7 hits, 75 at bats. He has 3 RBIs. Unser at second. Ragland at first. Beckett sets and throws. Swing and a miss. Strike 1. Bosch chokes up on the bat. Oh and 1 to Rich Bosman. They can help his own cause here by keeping away from the double play. And the pitch inside at the belt. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Unser at second, Ragland at first. Senators have some good speed on the bases. The pitch, a strike called, 1-2. Beckett does a little landscaping on the mound. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Bosman. The lefty throws. Curveball. Hit to the shortstop, Baker. To Clark for 1. Relay to first. Double play. That's number 156 for the Yankees. 6-4-3. Senators get 1 run. They had 1 hit. The Yankees committed 2 errors. The Senators leave 1 man on. And after 2, it's the Yankees 4, the Senators 1.
Hi, Ron Weber here, and I'm here on the WWDC stations Monday through Friday with sports news from 6:30 to 9:05 in the a.m. Getting up at 4:45 is tough to take. Hope I'm not tough to take along with your morning eggs and coffee. By afternoon, my nap time, Tony Roberts takes over with sports at 5 o'clock and in the program 30 till 6. And, of course, Tony joins Ron Menchine for the play-by-play of all 162 Washington Senator baseball games going through the end of September. Don't forget our pregame shows, Johnny Holiday's On Deck and the Ted Williams Show with Shelby Whitfield. Then there's ABC Weekend Sports on every 2 hours, Saturday and Sunday afternoons and evenings. There's Ed Ingles and the worldwide facilities of UPI Sports. And late-breaking sports stories reported on WWDC Now News. If you're getting the feeling we're the sportiest station in town, I've made my point.
In the top of the 3rd inning, Rusty Torres, Roy White, and John Ellis for the New York Yankees. And a standing ovation here at RFK Stadium. Cars 4-1, Yankees on top. Torres hit a home run over the right field fence into the corner. His second of the year, his 3rd RBI. Breaking ball strike, 0-1. Yankees with 4 runs, 4 hits, and a pair of errors. Senators 1 run, 2 hits, and no errors. The 0-1 pitch is low and inside. 1-1. Bullpen catcher George Susie just got the remnants of a sign from the upper deck. Foul on the first base side, 1-2 to Rusty Torres. Dave Nelson, Toby Harrah, Tommy Ragland, and Frank Howard, 3rd to 1st. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Line drive at a right field, a base hit. Picked up by Dillon. Torres is now 2 for 2, and that's base hit number 5 for the New York Yankees. So Torrey's rifles a single in the right. Nobody out, and that's going to bring up Roy White. White sliced a double down the left field line the first time up. His 22nd two-bagger of the year, and came on to score on a single by John Ellis. Denny McLean, number 17, warming up in the Senator bullpen. The pitch is outside, and it's a ball, 1-0. Senators have beaten Cleveland 11 out of 18. The Yankees 11 out of 17. And the pitch, a strike on the outside corner. 1 ball and 1 strike to Roy White. John Ellis, the first baseman, in the on deck, circled off to the left. Elliott Maddox shaded over toward right center. Boz at the belt, and the pitch. Outside again, and it's ball 2. First 2 innings have been rough for Bosman. The Yankees have 5 hits now, 2 homers, a double, and a pair of singles. And with the exception of the 2 base hit by Roy White, who stands in right now, all the other hits were well tagged. The 2-1 check swing high, ball 3. Dick Bosman struggling here in the Yankee third. The Bronx Bombers have gone out in front 4-1, getting 2 in the first and 2 in the second. Bosman ready, runner going down. The pitch is strike, the throw on to second. They've got him. He's out. Torrey's out stealing. Rich Billings, the shortstop, Toby Harrah. The pitch to Roy White was called a strike, and the count is full 3-2. So it's 1 away, nobody out. Full count to Roy White. The pitch is too low, and it's ball 4. And that is based on balls number 2 given up by Bosman. So again we have a runner at first, and now John Ellis, the first baseman for the Yankees, stands in. Ellis, a right-handed hitter. Roy White has stolen 14 bases in 20 attempts. 1 out, White at first. Bosman sets and throws. Too low, and it's a ball. 1-0. Denny McLean still throwing in the Senator bullpen. Bosman wants to do baseball. And plate umpire Jim Odom obliges. Bosman in trouble. Nods, sets, checks the runner, and throws. Inside, it may have hit him. I believe it did hit him. Johnny Ellis trotting down to first base. Might have nicked him in the elbow. Pitch was high and inside at the letters. And the Yankees now have runners at first and second. With 1 out. And if Torres had not been caught stealing, the bases would be loaded. The batter was Thurman Munson, who became the first strikeout victim for Dick Bosman to end the first inning after the Yankees had scored twice after 2 out. Runners at first and second. 1 away. Senators need 2. Swing and a miss. Strike 1. The umpire at first, Jake O'Donnell, and the umpire at third, Lou DeMuro, will work the playoffs between Baltimore and Oakland. And you'll hear those playoffs on the Senators' flagship station, WWDC AM and FM. 5 sets and throws. Curveball cut on and fouled off. Headed for the upper deck where it becomes a souvenir. No balls and 2 strikes to Thurman Munson. So Bosman out in front on the count. Outfield sprayed away. Infield a double play depth. Bob's trying to work out of a jam for the third consecutive inning. Taking plenty of time on the mound. Munson waves the bat across the plate. Now decides that right foot is not planted properly. He's ready. So is Bosman. And here comes the 0-2 pitch. Sidearm curve. Swing and a miss. Strike three. Munson tried to hold up. Check the swing, but he couldn't. And he goes down swinging for the second time. That's strikeout number 3 for Dick Bosman. So that leaves it up to Ron Hansen, the Yankee third sacker, who went down swinging to start the second. Roy White's at second, Johnny Ellis at first. They extend their leads now. Rich Billings gives the sign. Dick Bosman's ready. And the first pitch to Ron Hansen. Curveball. Hit the left center field. Maddox going back toward the warning track. He's there and makes the catch in front of the Senator bullpen. Hansen gave it a pretty good ride to the right of the 381 mark. But a long fly ball out. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and a pair left. But after 2.5, but still the Yankees 4, the Senators 1.
Here's good news from a great double play combination. It's made with fiberglass belts, and it's the exact tire that comes on many new 71 cars. You'll be amazed at the terrific mileage and superior handling these tires will give you. For a great combination, buy B.F. Goodrich at Market Tires. All stores open daily till 9. There's one near you. That's B.F. Goodrich and Market Tires.
For the Senators, in the bottom of the third, the top of the order, Elliot Maddox, Toby Harrah, and Frank Howard. Yankees with 4 runs, 5 hits, a pair of errors. Senators 1 run, 2 hits, and no errors. Maddox thrown out for the shortstop. Frank Baker, the first time up. The pitch, a strike. 0-1. Pickett with a high curveball had us 1-1. Philadelphia out in front of Pittsburgh, 1-0. That's after 2 at Philadelphia. No score, Cincinnati, Atlanta after 1 at Atlanta. The 1-1, let up, hit deep to center. Mercer going back, and he's got room. He's there and makes the catch. Maddox reaching out for the pitch. 1 away. Here's Toby Harrah. Came up with the first hit of the night for the Senators. A ground ball that eluded Ron Hansen at third. Frank Baker went to the hole to make the play, but couldn't get enough on the throw, and Toby beat it out. So Toby Harrah stands in. And Tickets throws the fastball to strike in the outside corner at the plate. No balls, 1 strike to Toby. Frank Howard's on deck and swinging a fly ball, right side, foul territory. Johnny Ellis toward the stands and makes the play 2 away. Toby Harrah fouls out. And the hand is for the big guy, Frank Howard. Got a standing ovation the first time up, and he'll get one again. The fans stand here at RFK and cheer the big guy out. He drew a base on balls in the first inning. The pitch by Tickets. Hit high in the air. Who wants it? Baker, the shortstop, coming toward the mound, waiting for the ball to come down and makes the play. And that retires aside. 3 up, 3 down inning. No runs, no hits, no errors. Nobody left. We played 3 here at RFK. The Yankees 4, the Senators 1.
Hi, this is Shelby Whitfield. Sports fans will want to join me Saturday evenings from 6 to 7 here on WWDC for Sports Roundtable. It's an hour of frank discussion about all sports with 3 sports writers and a special guest appearing each week. Most of the guests have strong opinions. Bob Addy did when he commented about Bowie Kuhn's fine against the Cleveland Indians for their incentive contracts.
Well, they ought to fine the owner, Alvin Dark, all of them. They're a cheap ball club. Let's face it, he could do nothing else. What else is he going to do? This is a rule. Bobby Forster over here, I mean, he has to go by the rules. Somebody says a rule, you got to put up a forfeit or whatever it is to fight. This is the simplest thing in the world to make you look like a great man. All you're doing is following the rules that they themselves have laid down. This is no big deal.
Don't you miss Sports Roundtable, a 1-hour sports talk show Saturday nights from 6 to 7 on WWDC AM and FM.
Leading it off, fourth, it'll be Frank Baker, followed by Mike Kekich, and then the top of the order, Bobby Mercer. Baker walked and scored. Came home on Bobby Mercer's home run. The pitch on the way. First pitch hit to Tom Ragland at second. Throw to first, and it's 1 down. Baker's out. Bring up the Yankee pitcher, Mike Kekich. Came in between Maddox and Unser. They both watched it sail over the fence. Bobby's 25th homer, and he picked up a pair of RBIs. Baker happened to be on base at the time. He now has 94. A bouncer between first and second. Howard over, shovels the ball to Bosman, and they get Bobby Mercer by a step. 3-1 on the plate, 3 up, 3 down. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left. After 3.5, Yankees 4, Senators 1.
If you go to Europe this summer, don't agree to bring back a little stash for your friends. They may have to wait a long time for it.
We had some hash, and 5 narcotics agents came in and swinging guns around and hollering at everybody and telling everybody not to move or they'd shoot them.
How long did they keep you?
We were held for about 3 days, give or take a few hours.
What was it like?
Being dragged around and shoved around up against the wall, and, for no reason at all. We hadn't hurt anybody or done anything to anyone.
A lot of people think drugs are free and easy in other countries. More than 500 young Americans just like you know how it really is. They're counting the days in jails all over the world, wishing they'd gotten high on sightseeing. If you get out of the country this year, don't buy, don't sell. Come back on time.
In the Senator half of the fourth, Rich Billings, Jeff Burroughs, and Davey Nelson. Billings hit into a 5-4-3 double play. 1 of 2 pulled off by the Yankees in this game. They had 3 last night. So here's Billings. Came into the game hitting .241. Kekich ready. The first pitch on the way. Let up curve, too low. Ball 1. White Sox beat Milwaukee this afternoon 2-1. California shaded Minnesota 3-2. They've got a pair of big ones in the National League tonight. Fastball cut on, hit in the hole, left field, a base hit. And Billings comes up with a leadoff single between Ron Hansen and Frank Baker. It's picked up by Roy White and thrown into Horace Clark. Base hit number 3 off Mike Kekich. A slow, tantalizing roller. Hansen going to his left, Baker to his right. Neither one could flag it down. And that'll bring up Jeff Burroughs. Burroughs' average has dropped to .232. He's in a slump. He popped to short the first time up. Takes a strike, and it's 0-1. Yankees lead it 4-1. We're in the bottom of the fourth. The pitch by Kekich, and it's high, 1-1. Burroughs will be followed by third baseman Dave Nelson. and then right fielder Del Unser. Cackett sets, then steps off the rubber, grabs the rosin bag. Ellis on the bag at first, holding Billings close. The rest of the Yankee infield a double play depth. The pitch on the way. Hit deep to left. Going. It is caught at the wall. It died at the wall. Burroughs gave it a good ride, but Roy White went back to the wall and made the catch. And that gave our engineer fits. He's got Burroughs as the senator to hit the last home run. We tried, Tommy, we tried. Burroughs gave it a shot, didn't get under it enough. And Roy White, with his back to the fence, made the play, and it's one away. There's Dave Nelson, who singled to left the first time up. Bluffs the bunt, runs up on the ball. It's taken for a ball. Ron Hansen comes in from third. Now Jim Odom, the plate umpire, wants to look at the baseball. Jim said he spent 6 years as an umpire in the various leagues in Texas. He said it gets mighty hot around the Dallas area, but it's not as bad as when you play around Houston before the Astrodome. Swing, fly ball on the right field line. Stay fair. It's a foul ball. Foul by about 1.5 feet. Bounced into the stands. 1 ball and 1 strike. Nelson has 11 two-base hits. David liked to get that average up right around 280. Came into the game hitting 277. All your station break, get it to you when we can. The pitch to Davey. Takes it. 2 balls and 1 strike. Fans would like to see some action. Yankees have provided the long ball, a pair of homers, and a 4-1 lead. Cackett sets and throws. Popped up behind the plate. Munson off with the mask, comes back toward the screen and cannot get it. It lands in the first row. 2-2 the count to Dave Nelson. Let's pause here for station identification. This is the Washington Senators Baseball Network.
WWDC, AM and FM, Washington. Where'd you get it? At Jack Amatucci Chevy City, where the action is on everything from Vegas to Vets. Jack Amatucci Chevrolet, Veers Mill Road and Georgia Avenue in Wheaton.
The 2-2 on the way. Strike 3 call. Fastball on the inside corner at the knees. Nelson doing a little jawing with plate umpire Jim Odom. So Nelson, a strikeout victim. That's the first one for Mike Cackett. Now it's up to Del Unser. Billings still at first base. He led off with a single. Burroughs hit one to the fence and left. Nelson called out on strikes, and Del Unser stands in. Smashed one at the shortstop and reached first on an error by Frank Baker. The pitch is outside the ball. It's 1-0 to Del. Bottom of the 4th. Senators have been outscored 4-1, out hit 5-3. Cackett sets and throws. High fly foul left side. And in the stand. Another souvenir. Well, the fans in the upper deck have had a lot of fun. Carrying up paper and turning it into confetti. Cackett's ready. And the 1-1. Strike called. 1-2. Hansen now moves back a couple of steps at third base. 1 ball, 2 strikes. To Del Unser. Senators trail 4-1. Bottom of the 4th. Billings leads at first. Cackett sidearm pitch. Outside. Del was about to offer. Checked his swing. And it's 2 balls and 2 strikes. On deck, second baseman Tom Ragland. The 2-2 pitch. Hit down the left field line. It'll curve foul and land in the seats. Dell gave it a good ride. And a gentleman made a fine catch. Two outs. Billings comes back to first base. We are having Western Union ticker trouble tonight. The 2-2 pitch, let up, hit into right field. No trouble for Rusty Torres. In short right, makes the catch, and that retires the side. No runs. A leadoff single wasted. 1 hit, no errors, and a man left. After 4, Yankees 4, Senators 1.
Say, don't just believe it when they say Schaefer has flavor that never fades. Have a couple of tall, frosty, cold glasses and see for yourself. You'll find that first cold Schaefer tastes great, but it's the second glass and the third that'll really make you a believer. They'll show you how Schaefer stays consistently bright and rewarding glass after glass. And that's when you'll want to switch to Schaefer, because Schaefer is the one beer to have.
Schaefer is the one beer to have when you're having more than one.
The Yankees will send up second baseman Horace Clark, right fielder Rusty Torres, and left fielder Roy White to face Dick Bosman. For the first time in the game, the 4th inning, Boz set the Yankees down 1-2-3. Dick was having some control problems in the first 3 innings. Clark twice bounced out to second baseman Tom Ragland. And a pitch. A strike, 0-1. No balls, 1 strike. Bosman delivers. A bonder past the mound. Rags in on the second hop. Throw to first to Howard. Good stretch, and he's out. Clark retired. 4-3 on the play. For the 3rd time tonight, Tom Ragland makes the play on Horace Clark. Here's Rusty Torres. Came into the game hitting .364. Homered the first time up. Single to right in inning number 3. So he's now 2 for 2. Hitting from the left side. He now has 10 hits in 24 at-bats. The pitch, a strike call. 0-1. 1 out, nobody on. Yankees 4-5-2, Senators 1-3-0. And the pitch, inside. Dances away, 1-1. Maddox over toward right center. Roy White, the on-deck hitter. Bosman has now retired 6 in a row. The pitch is low and outside a ball. 2-1 to Rusty Torres. Frank Howard, standing in the outfield grass, now moves in a step or 2 at first base. Ragland deep at second. And the 2-1. Smashed. Foul. Past Frank Howard, down the line. 2 balls, 2 strikes. 1 out. The Yankee 5th. Yanks are one game above 500. They've won 81 and dropped 80. And the 2-2 is inside at the knees. Full count, 3 balls, 2 strikes. Yankees will wind up in 4th place. Baltimore the champions, Tigers 2nd, Red Sox 3rd, Yanks 4th. Senators will be 5th, and the Indians last. Bosman's full count delivery. Curve, pop back. Right over our heads, and somebody made the catch. The ball never came back down. Three and 2. The Rusty Tories. Bosman's ready. The pitch on the way. High in the air behind the plate. Billings back. He's got to play and makes it. Fine play by Billings. As Torres fouls out to the Senator catcher, 2 away. Now here's Roy White. Double to left. Scored in the first on Johnny Ellis a single and walked into 3rd. Yankee outfield could be very potent next year. Torres, Mercer, White. With 2 away, the pitch hit deep to right. Way back, answer to the fence. It is gone. Another home run. White really put the wood to that pitch. That's the 29th home run ball served up by Bosman this year, and the 3rd of this game. And the Yankees lead it 5-1. Torres homered. Mercer's homered. Roy White is homered. Of the 6 hits given up by Bosman, 4 have been for extra bases, 3 homers and a double. The pitch to Johnny Ellis. 1 strike. One to the Yankee first baseman. 5 delivers. Outside a ball. 1 ball, 1 strike. Bosman had retired 7 in a row. And then White teed off. Sent the ball over the right field fence. A bouncer between third and short. Nelson dives for it. Toby Harrah can't flag it down. Finally picked up by Jeff Burroughs in left field. And thrown into Tom Ragland. And Johnny Ellis has his second hit of the night. He's been up 3 times and on all 3. Pair of singles, and he was hit by a pitch. Base hit number 7 off Dick Bosman. That'll bring up the catch of Thurman Munson. Up twice, and twice a strikeout victim. Yankees now have 5 runs and 7 hits. Breaking ball low and outside. And it's 1-0. And Dennis Dale McClain is up and throwing again in the center of the bullpen in left center. Now McClain has been replaced by, it looks like Pena from here. The pitch a ball, and it's 1-1. And it is Horatio Pena. 1 ball, 1 strike. The catch of Thurman Munson. Yankees again with a 4-run lead. 5-1. 5 sets and the pitch. Fastball too low. 2 balls and a strike. How's the cake, Ron?
Delicious, Tony. Mike Doan, one of the supervisors of ushers here, had his wife bake just a fantastic chocolate cake for us, and we really appreciate it.
You sure do, Ron. The 2-1. Propped up behind the plate. Billings coming back. No play. 2 balls, 2 strikes. I have to say this, Ron, for the folks here at RFK. They've got some Pretty good bakers in our midst during the season.
I'll guarantee you that's true.
Two balls, 2 strikes to Munson. Ellis over at first base. Very short lead. He's tried to steal one base and he's been nabbed. Takes 2 steps away from the bag. Howard close at first. Osmond at the belt. Checks the runner. The 2-2. It passed him on into center field. Another base hit. John Ellis will stop at second as Maddox picks the ball up. Gets it back into Toby Harrah. A hit up the middle. That's the 3rd straight hit after 2 out. Base hit number 8 for the Yankees. And that will bring up third baseman Ron Hansen. Ron has gone down swinging and fly to center.
Larry Krebs, center of the press box.
2 outs, 2 on, a run home. Osmond at the belt. Checks the runners. Sidearm inside at the letters. And Hansen has to back off the plate. Ball 1. Pena continues to throw in the Senator bullpen. With the bottom of the order coming up, we'll get a pinch hitter for Dick Brasman, more than likely. Check swing, the pitch is low and outside, and it's ball 2 to Ron Hansen. The Yankees have scored 5 times. 4 of those 5 runs, the result of homers. Solo shots by Torres, White, and a 2-run homer by Bobby Mercer. Ground ball to third. Nelson goes to second for the force, and that retires a side. They get a run, 3 hits, no errors, and a pair left. But after 4.5, Yankees 5, Senators 1.
Viral carcinogenesis. Avian leukemogenesis. Oncogenic adenovirus types 12 and 18. Do these mean anything to you? They could. They're part of what's happening in cancer research to see if human cancer is caused by viruses. If so, it may be possible to develop vaccines to prevent some types of cancer. You can do something about cancer. You can learn the 7 warning signals and see your doctor once a year for a checkup. Early detection could save your life. For more knowledge, contact your American Cancer Society.
We move into the bottom of the 5th. It'll be Tom Ragland to lead it off. The Senators have their work cut out for them, but I'm going to put the man in the batter's box who can do the job for us, along with Rags, the broadcast buddy, Ron Manchin. Go get him.
Thank you very much, Tony, and hi again, everybody. A big crowd on hand for the final ball game of the Washington Senators in the nation's capital. Hopefully, there'll be a club here real soon. We don't know when. All we can do is hope. Pitches in for the strike to Tom Ragland, who in this ball game reached on an error by shortstop Frank Baker his only time up. Mike Kekich, the left-hander, gunning for his 11th win on the mound, goes the rosin bag. It all began in the American League back in 1901. The Senators finished 5th that year. The 1-strike pitch, high and inside, it's 1 ball and 1 strike. Bill Carrick was the first Washington Senators pitcher to register a victory in American League history. Beat the Philadelphia A's. Curve is inside, ball 2, 2-1 to Tom Ragland. What great players have worn Senator uniforms. the immortal Walter Johnson. The 2-1 pitch on the way, swung on a miss, strike two. Muddy Rule was the big train's battery mate. Senator first baseman, well, we've had many good ones. Mickey Vernon and Joe Judge in particular. The 2-2 pitch to Ragland. There's a little looper into short center field. Racing into the ball, Bobby Mercer falls in front of him for the base hit. And Tommy Ragland leads off the last of the fifth inning with a bloop single to center field. And now Paul Casanova will pinch hit for Dick Bosman. Cassie gets a big hand from the crowd here as he makes his final appearance as a Washington Senator. Cassie's batting average, .203. He has 5 homers, 9 doubles, a triple, and 26 runs batted in. The Senators trail 5-1. The Yankees have 5 runs on 8 hits. The Senators 1 on 4. The pitch is inside, ball 1. When you speak of Senator second baseman, the name of Bucky Harris comes to mind. The boy manager who led the Senators to their only world championship in history. The year, 1924. Shortstops, well, Roger Peckinpah was a good one. Joe Cronin, perhaps even more famous. Pitches inside, ball 2 to Cassie. 2 balls and no strikes. And the outfield. Sam Rice, Goose Goslin, both members of the Hall of Fame, and Frank Howard, who has given the fans here so many thrills the last 7 years. The pitch is high, ball 3, 3-0. Casanova pinch hitting for Dick Bosman. Tom Ragland at first as a result of a single to center field. Rags takes his lead. Kekich watches him. The 3-0 to Cassie. Curve is high, ball 4. Senators at first and second with nobody out. That's the second walk issued by Mike Kekich in the game tonight. When you look around and see this vast crowd, there's no doubt in my mind that Washington is a great sports town. Here's Elliot Maddox. Maddox is grounded out short to first and fly to center. The pitch is in for a strike. Washington has won only 3 pennants in the American League, 1924, 1925, and 1933. They haven't been in the first division since 1946, and yet the fans over the years have come out, supporting a ball club that many times was last in the American League. The 1 strike pitch, a curve is grounded foul down the third base side. 2 strikes on Elliot Maddox. Bill Shannon, who works in the public relations department of Madison Square Garden, and a good friend of former Senator broadcaster Bob Wolf, is in attendance tonight. He feels very badly about the nation's capital losing its baseball team. The 2-strike pitch. The 2-strike pitch. There's a chopper foul down the third base side again. Count holding at 2 strikes on Elliott. I think sooner or later baseball's going to discover that they're going to have to promote and build up, not run out of town. The 2-strike pitch, swung on and fouled back. You can't keep running forever. You've got to build this great game up. There's no finer sport than baseball, and there are no finer fans than those in Washington. The American League club owners took the coward's way out. And now there's no baseball team for the time being, but maybe someday soon there will be. 2 strikes on Elliot Maddox. The runners lead from first and second. The kick and the pitch. There's a fly ball hit to right field. Backing up on it, Rusty Torrey. Torrey's under it, makes the catch. Tagging up at second and advancing to third is Tom Ragland. The Senators have Paul Casanova at first, Tom Ragland at third, and one away. Here is Toby Harris. He beat out an infield single to short, and he fouled out to first baseman John Ellis. One out, runners on the corners. The kick and the pitch. Low and inside, ball one. One ball and no strikes on Toby Harris. The Senators trail it 5-1. Checkage rocks and fires. A fastball hit up the middle. The shortstop, Frank Baker, steps in the bag, throws the first double play, and the inning is over. The Senators threaten, but they do not score. They come up with no runs on one hit, no errors, and one man left. And the score after 5, New York 5 and the Senators 1.
The Eastern Union Singing Telegraph Company strikes again.
Barbara Kuhn. Barbara Kuhn, please. Good morning, Barbara. I'm a representative of the Eastern Union Singing Telegram Company, and we have a singing telegram on this, it says here in the memo, your 4th wedding anniversary today.
Oh, no.
You're not laughing, are you, Barbara? This is a very serious bit of business, Birdsboy.
I didn't come here to be made sport.
That's right. We didn't come here to play games. All right, stand by. Happy anniversary, guys, to Barbara Kuhn of 4806 Fox Street. Come on, Barbara. All right, here we go. Happy anniversary. Should we stop now, Barbara, or should we go on?
Be aware, Eastern Union might be calling you next 6 to 10 a.m.
Horatio Pena on the mound in place of Dick Bosma now. Pena making his 56th relief appearance of the year. He's won one and lost one. Pitched 56 in 2/3 innings. Given up 26 runs, 23 earned, 46 hits, walked 37 intentionally, struck out 37, thrown a home run ball twice, has an earned run average of 3.63, and 2 saves to his credit.
Thank you, Tony. Here's Frank Baker, the shortstop, who just initiated that double play to end the last of 5th inning. Takes a pitch in for a strike from the side armor from Matamoros, Mexico, Horatio Pena. 1 strike pitch coming. A curve is high and inside. It's 1 ball and 1 strike. 5-8-2 for New York. 1-4-0 for the Senators. The 1-1 pitch. Curve is outside. Ball 2. Wonder how big a crowd Oakland would have had tonight. The Western Division champs had 700. Their next to last game. They swelled that figure to 1,000 yesterday. But they're the champions of the West, and they're still in the American League. Pitch is swung on him as strike 2, 2-2. Two balls and 2 strikes on shortstop Frank Baker. Pena fires. Fastball fouled back to the screen. Count holding at 2-2. No, sir, when you look around, both in the American and National Leagues, there are many cities less deserving of Major League Baseball than the nation's capital. The 2-2 pitch. Swung on him as strike 3. Horatio Pena strikes out the first Yankee he faces in the 6th inning. Mike Kekich, the batter. We'll get your station break as soon as Kekich bats. There's a ground ball, hit to first. Frank Howard backs up on it, bobbles it, picks it up, flips to Pena, in time for the out, number 2. And before Mercer stands in, let's pause for station identification. This is the Washington Senators Baseball Network.
WWDC, AM and FM, Washington. Where'd you get it? At Jack Amatucci Chevy City, where the action is on everything from Vegas to Vets. Jack Amatucci Chevrolet, Veers Mill Road and Georgia Avenue in Wheaton.
Here's Bobby Mercer. Slide to center, hit a 2-run homer, and then grounded out. Frank Howard to Dick Bosman, the starting pitcher covering the bag. Curve is way outside, ball 1. Mercer bluffed the bunt that time, and had Davey Nelson charging in from third. Nelson at third, Toby Harrod short, Tom Ragland at second, Frank Howard at first. The 1-0 on the way is a fastball on the outside, ball 2. 2 balls and no strikes. 2 outs. Nobody on. We're in the top of the 6th inning. New York leading by 4, 5-1. The 2-0 in there. High, ball 3. 3 balls and no strikes. The 3-0 pitch. Swung on and fouled back. And the count 3-1. Three balls and 1 strike on Bobby Mercer. Tony?
Lindblad throwing for the Senators now, Ron.
The 3-1 pitch is outside, ball 4. That's the first walk issued by Horatio Pena, and brings in Horace Clark, who was grounded out second to first. His first 2 times up in the first and second innings. He did the same thing again in the 5th. So he's 0 for 3.
WCOP radio, please report to Bert Hawkins at the press box. Any official or broadcaster of WCOP radio.
There are 2 outs with Bobby Mercer at first base. Kicking a pitch from Pena. There's a high fly ball to left field. Drifting over on it is Jeff Burroughs. He's under it. He makes the catch. And that retires the Yankees in the 6th inning. No runs, no hits, 1 walk and 1 left. And after 5.5, the Yankees 5 and the Senators 1.
What's the buzz? Tell me what's happening. What's the buzz? Tell me what's happening. What's the buzz?
To know what's happening behind the scenes in our city, across the nation, and the world, listen to What's the Buzz, Sundays from 9 p.m. to midnight on WWDC.
What kind of a mental attitude did you have when you found that stone? Did it make it, it obviously made it easier to take, but can you function that way?
Yes, you can function, but you do things ordinarily you wouldn't do. Like there might be a machine gun out there or something. If you're high enough, you'd go out there and try and get it. You might be killed early.
I'm Larry Matthews. Join Peter Gamble and me each Sunday evening on What's the Buzz. You should know what's happening in your world.
What's happening? What's the buzz? Tell me what's happening. What's the buzz? Tell me what's happening.
Well, for the 3rd time tonight, Frank Howard is getting a standing ovation from the crowd here at RFK Stadium. They're seeing the big guy wearing a Senator uniform for the last time. Confetti is lining the field as fans are tearing up scorecards and paper and tossing it out. And Hondo takes the first pitch from Kekich, high and inside, ball 1. Howard has 25 home runs this year. He has 82 runs batted in. The 1-0 coming, high, ball 2. Tonight, Hondo has walked and popped to short. Two balls and no strikes on the big guy. Swings and fouls it back. It's 2-1. Senators trail 5-1. But they have time to catch the Yankees. There's a long drive to left field. This one is going. It is gone. Frank Howard has just hit home run number 26. And again, he gets a standing ovation. The cheers for Hondo, who waved his batting helmet to the fans. I just wish the owners of the American League could see this. The ones who voted 10-2 to move this club out of Washington. He comes out again. Hondo threw his helmet into the stands, a souvenir of the big guy's finest hour in Washington. Screaming for Howard to come out again. And here he comes again. Three curtain calls in a lifetime, let alone one night. A tremendous display of the enthusiasm of Washington fans for Frank Howard. And it is shared, believe me. Hondo loves Washington as much as the fans love him. It's 5-2. Kekich fires to Rich Billings. High, ball one. One-ball pitch is high, ball two, 2-0. 2 balls and no strikes on Rich Billings. A tremendous display by the fans after Hondo unloaded his 26th home run. Off the wall, above the fence in left field. The 2-0 coming. There's a line drive in the right center field for a base hit. And Billings keeps things going here in the 6th inning. Here's Jeff Burrows taking a pitch low and inside, ball one. Jeff in this ball game has popped to short and flied to left. There's a right-hander warming up in the Yankee bullpen. The crowd starts to rhythmic applause. The pitch is inside, ball two. And Kekich is laboring in the 6th inning. The Senators now trail by 3 runs. And maybe the Hondo homer has ignited the spark. The 2-0 to Burrows is high, ball 3, 3-0. The pitch is in for the strike at 3-1. At first base is Rich Billings. Frank Howard just circled the base paths a few minutes ago, and the game was held up at least 5 minutes by a standing ovation. There's a ground ball to left field, another base hit. Billings stops at second, Burrows at first, and there are runners at first and second with nobody out in the 6th inning. I believe there's going to be a pitching change right here. The Yankees are going to make a change and remove Mike Keckett from the ball game. Now we'll just have to wait and see who comes in. This afternoon in the American League, the White Sox beat the Brewers 2-1. California beat Minnesota 3-2. Tonight after 4, the Pirates lead the Phillies 4-3. And after 1, no score between the Reds and the Braves. Jack Aker will be on the scene. And here's Tony with a look at his record.
Big Jack Aker is making his 54th appearance of the year. He's won 4, lost a total of 4. And he has a total of 4 saves to his credit. He's given up 17 runs, 15 of which have been earned. Total of 44 hits. Walked 25, struck out 23. Thrown the home run ball 3 times. And he has an earned run average of 2.55. So right-hander Jack Aker on the mound, facing Mike Keckett. And the Senators with runners at first and second, and the score 5-2, have the tying run at home plate in the person of Dave Nelson, if he can come through with a big base hit. I'd like to remind you that following the game tonight in our scoreboard show, Vice President and General Manager Bill Sanders will be appearing on the Fred Fisk Empathy Show on WWDC, AM and FM. And Bill is going to try and explain, I know he will explain, not just try, but Bill will explain the intricacies of setting up a baseball radio network and what the contracts involve when you decide to do Major League Baseball, what it entails from your sales department, time, energy, etc. Because we feel that really radio sort of, and television too, sort of taking a bum rap in a good many ways in the paper, so we'd like to enlighten the people of Washington as to what it really takes. So Bill Sanders will be a guest on the Fred Fisk Empathy Show.
Aker delivers to Davey Nelson, grounded fouled on the third base side, strike 1. One strike on Dave Nelson. There's a bunt down the third base side, picked up by Aker, throw to first, not in time. The ball gets away from John Ellis, and Rich Billings scores the third run. Advancing to third is Jeff Burrows. It's a 5-3 ball game. We'll check the scoring. It's a hit for Dave Nelson. And Aker's throwing error allows Rich Billings to score run number 3. Here is Del Unser. And the pitch is outside, ball one. 1 ball and no strikes on Del. Jeff Burroughs at third. Davey Nelson at first. Still nobody out. And the tying runs are on for the Senators here in the 6th inning. The 1-0 coming. In for the strike. It's 1-1. The crowd worked up to a fever pitch. They were ignited by Frank Howard's tremendous home run to left field. A vicious line drive that caromed off the wall. The 1-1 coming. Outside, ball 2, 2-1. Dell is reached on an error by shortstop Frank Baker and flied out to right fielder Rusty Torrey. The hits are all even now at 8 apiece, and it's a 5-3 ball game. The 2-1 coming. A chopper foul behind the plate. It's 2-2 to Dell. Jack Aker is a sinker ball pitcher. He has excellent control. Tries to keep the ball low on all the batters. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Jeff Burroughs at third. Davey Nelson at first. The throw to first, Davey back in time. John Ellis takes the throw. The 2-2 pitch. There's a chopper to the mound. Aker goes to first base, and Jeff Burroughs crosses the plate with another run. And now it's 5-4. The RBI for Del Unser, number 40. Those 3 runs are all charged to Keckett. So the Senators have moved within 1 run of the New York Yankees. Jack Aker working slowly to the belt. Dixon fires. A curve is in for the strike. Tom Ragland, the batter. Rags has reached on an error by shortstop Frank Baker, and he has singled to center field. 3 runs across in the 6th inning. It's a 5-4 ball game. Aker delivers. A curve is outside. It's 1 ball and 1 strike. The tying run is at second. Dave Nelson possesses good speed. The 1-1 coming. A curve is swung on this, and it's 1-2. One ball and 2 strikes on Tom Ragland. The pitch from Aker. Swung on and fouled back, landing on the netting just below the broadcast booth. Count holding at 1-2. One ball and 2 strikes on Tom Ragland. Nelson leading second, 1 out. The pitch. Pass ball is inside, 2-2. There's paper all over the outfield. Some of it has blown out on the infield. The fans sing their last Major League game, hopefully for not too long. The 2-2 pitch. There's a ground ball fouled on the third base side. Count holding at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Some of you listening to the broadcast tonight may want to get an official picture of the 1971 Washington Senators. We'll tell you how you can do that when time permits. The 2-2 on the way. Swung on and chopped out in front of the plate, and it goes foul. As it goes about 5 feet down the line, it curves foul. And Tom Ragland retreats to the batter's box with a count 2 balls and 2 strikes. And Davey Nelson, off and running from second, goes back to second. It's 5-4. We're in the last of the 6th inning, and New York is leading. The Senators are threatening to tie it up. The 2-2 pitch. Strike 3 called. He got him on a curveball on the inside corner. And Don Mincher will pinch hit for Horatio Pena. And Don will be given an intentional walk. Pitch is outside, ball 1. We have Dave Nelson at second, 2 outs. Don Mincher being given an intentional walk as he pinch hit for Horatio Pena. Pitch is outside, ball 3, 3-0. Outside, ball 4. Now, we told you a moment ago how you can get a photograph of the 1971 Washington Senators. You can send $1 to Don Wingfield, Wingfield, 3601 Danny's Lane, 3601 Danny's Lane, Alexandria, Virginia, and the zip code is 22311. The zip code 22311. Here's Elliott Maddox with runners at first and second and 2 out. The pitch from Akers, swung on a miss, strike 1. Elliott is 0 for 3, grounded out short to first, fly to center and fly to right. The 1-strike pitch is outside, 1 ball and 1 strike. Two away, 2 on. 5-4 the score. We're in the bottom of the 6th inning. The 1-1 on the way, swung on and missed. 1-2. Elliott Maddox awaiting the 1-2 pitch from Jack Akers, the runner's lead. Fastball is inside. It's 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 2 on. 5-4 the score. We're in the last of the 6th inning. New York leading by a run. The tying run is at second, and the go-ahead run is at first, in the person of Don Mincher. The 2-2 coming. There's a line drive to the left field line. It's curving. It's a fair ball. It's going to score. Dave Nelson with the tying run. Don Mincher trying to score. He slides. He's out at the plate. But it's a brand new ball game. As Dave Nelson scored the tying run at 5-5, Mincher Toppled catcher Thurman Munson over, but Thurman held on to the ball as he put the tag on Don for the final out. But the Senators in the sixth come up with 4 runs on 5 hits. There was 1 Yankee error and 1 man left. And after 6, it's the Senators 5 and New York 5.
You're leaning against the barber pole. What's your scene, clown?
Well, I'm just hanging around here for today to sell you on a pot primer. Now, this isn't your ordinary pot primer, like the kind you prime a pot with, or for you folks with small children, like a potty primer. Nothing like that. This is a pot primer for parents, and it's a little booklet written in simple language so that the average adult will understand it. It tells all about pot or marijuana. If you have kids who are at that age where they might get involved with pot, you ought to get this booklet, A Pot Primer for Parents, for a couple of reasons. First, it's free. Second, it might mean the difference between your kid turning down pot rather than getting turned on with pot. For your free copy, write the National Institute of Mental Health, Box 1080, Washington, D.C., and tell them Jonathan Winters sent you.
Left-hander Paul Lindblad, John Amon, for the Senators. Lindy making his 51st appearance. He's 170, he's dropped 4, has an earned run average of 2.85, and he tops the Senators in saves with a total of 8, and he'll be facing Rusty Torres.
Rusty Torres has been trouble again tonight. A home run, a single, and a foul out in 3 trips. He swings and misses on Lindy's first pitch.
Any local radio station, except WWDC, that's broadcasting from this part.
The pitch is a strike 2 call. 2 strikes on Rusty Torres. Five to 5 the score in the 7th inning. Kicking a pitch from Lindblad. A fastball's outside, 1-2. Torres came into tonight's game with a .364 batting average. 1-2 pitch. There's a well-hit ball to left center field. Long run for Elliott Maddox going back. He makes a catch for the warning track. A fine catch by Elliott Maddox on a long shot by Rusty Torres to left center. One out in the 7th inning. And the batter is Roy White, the left fielder. Roy has doubled the left, walked, and socked his 19th home run of the season. He scored 2 of the 5 Yankee runs. And he's driven in 1. Pitch is outside, ball 1. Lindblad rocks and fires a fastball, chopped behind the plate, 1 ball and 1 strike. 5 runs, 9 hits, and no errors for the Senators. 5 runs, 8 hits, and 3 errors for New York. The Yankees at one time led 5-1, but the Senators bounced back with 4 in the 6th inning. The 1-1 pitch is high and outside, ball 2, 2-1. John Ellis is on deck. The 2-1 on the way. Curve dipped in for the strike, 2-2. Caught the outside corner of the plate. One out, nobody on. We're in a Yankee 7th and a 5-5 deadlock. The 2-2 coming. Strike 3 called. Roy White caught looking, squawks at Jim Odom as he goes back to the Yankee dugout. That is strikeout number 5 for Senators pitching, the first for Lindy. And there's John Ellis. An RBI single to left. He was hit by the pitch, and he singled to left again. First pitch is outside, ball 1. What a delight to have the sports historian Ira Smith in the broadcast booth tonight. Ira has authored 5 books on baseball. The pitch is in for the strike, 1-1. He saw his first Senators game back in 1920, and he remembers very well the World Series victory over the New York Giants in 1924. The 1-1 pitch, outside, ball 2. Ira saw the last game ever played in Griffith Stadium. And Ira, we hope you'll see the next Major League game played in Washington. Now, we hope it's not too long away. The 2-1 pitch. A strike on the outside corner, and a count on Ellis is 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out. Paul Lindblad getting the sign from Rich Billing. The 2-2 coming. Swung on and fouled back. And the count remains 2-2. Lindy, the third pitcher used by Ted Williams tonight. The field is littered with debris. Fans have torn papers and scorecards. The biggest demonstration occurred when Frank Howard walloped home run number 26. The 2-2 is high and outside, ball 3, 3-2. 2 outs to nobody on. John Ellis batting for the Yankees with a full count here in the 7th inning. 5-5 the score. Lindblad wheels and deals. There's a chopper down the first base side. Tough play that stays third, goes foul as it's grabbed by Frank Howard halfway down the line. The game was held up at least 5 minutes as Frank Howard came out for curtain call after curtain call. A very popular member of the Washington Senators. And the fans showed their appreciation. He's had a perfect night so far, with his 2 for 2, being hit once by a pitch. Came into the game with a .239 batting average. 3 homers and 32 runs knocked in. The payoff pitch again coming. There's a fly ball hit to center field. Going back on it, Elliott Maddox, still going back. In straightaway center field, he makes a catch just in front of the warning track, about 400 feet away, as John Ellis gave it a pretty good ride. But the Yankees in the 7th inning go down in order, and after 6.5, it's the Senators 5 and New York 5.
A child's life is very precious. Thousands of children in Maryland, Virginia, and the District of Columbia have life-threatening kidney disease. Beth Lehman will enter 1st grade in the fall. She was almost 2 when she became desperately ill with a serious kidney ailment. Terry Harvey is 7. When she was 4, Terry had a diseased kidney removed at Georgetown University Hospital. Margaret Rothman and her parents live in Fairfax. Margaret was 16 when she received a kidney transplant from her mother. She's 18 now and making plans for college. 3 children with kidney disease. All have been helped. But what does the future hold for the many other little ones in our community who are stricken with kidney disease? You can protect your children by calling the Kidney Foundation for further information. The number is 333-3556. A child's life is very precious.
We go to the last of 7th inning. And the fans have stood for the 7th inning stretch. The official attendance has not been announced tonight, but it's a large and it's an enthusiastic crowd, bidding farewell to Major League Baseball in the nation's capital, hopefully only for the time being. Toby Harrah has singled to short, fouled out to first, and grounded into a short to first double play. Aker throws outside, ball one. Someone is being paged at the stadium. The pitch is swung on and missed. It's 1 ball and 1 strike. Jack Aker getting the sign. Right-hander fires. There's a ground foul over toward the Yankee dugout. Count 1 ball and 2 strikes on Toby. On deck, Frank Howard. And you can sense the crowd waiting to react again to the big guy. Toby hits one into short left field. Coming in on the ball is Roy White. He's under it, makes the catch. And before Hondo stands in, let's pause for station identification. This is the Washington Senators Baseball Network.
WWDC, AM and FM, Washington. Where'd you get it? At Jack Amatucci Chevy City, where the action is on everything from Vegas to Vets. Jack Amatucci Chevrolet, Bears Mill Road and Georgia Avenue in Wheaton.
If you can't hear our voice, it's because the din is tremendous for Hondo. A curve is in for the strike. Hondo crashed his 26th home run off the left field wall. His last time up, grounds one fouled on the first base side, grabbed by Nellie Fox. And the count is 2 strikes. I'd like to take this opportunity to thank all the members of Washington Senators for their tremendous cooperation over the last 3 years. The 2-strike pitch to Howard. There's a chopper down the third base side, foul. Count holding at 2 strikes. 2-strike pitch to Howard. There's a chopper down the third base side, foul. Count holding at 2 strikes. Tremendous bunch of guys. We'll miss them all very much. The 2-strike pitch. There's a high pop-up. Catcher Thurman Munson drifting under it in foul territory. He makes the catch. And Hondo has fouled out to Thurman Munson. But the big guy is going to get a hand. This is his night. And he can do no wrong. Confetti again coming down all over the field. The batter is Rich Billings. Aker fires a curve in for the strike. It's 5-5. We're in the last of 7. The Senators have out-hit New York 9-8, and they tied it up with 4 runs in the 6th inning. There's a ground ball to hold to left field for a base hit. Past third baseman Ron Hansen and shortstop Frank Baker. So Rich Billings gets a 2-out single to left, and Jeff Burroughs is the hitter. The pitch is a curve in for the strike. There's a chopper down the third base side. Ron Hansen guns his throw to first, just in time to get Burroughs for the final out. The Senators in the 7th inning come up with no runs on 1 hit. No errors and a man left. And after 7, Senators 5, New York 5. go to the 8th inning. Paul Lindblad taking his warm-up tosses. Will be facing Thurman Munson, Ron Hansen, and Frank Baker. Tonight's attendance has just been announced at 14,460. For the delay, some fans have come out on the field to shake hands with the Senator ball players, and I hope they'll leave the field of play so we can resume this final game here at RFK Stadium. For the moment, the umpires have cleared the field. When the field is cleared, play will resume. Repercussions here, and the Senators possibly, I don't know if this is true or not, but possibly could forfeit the ball game. That's exactly right. The home team is responsible for keeping order at the ballpark. Now, the fans have not been unruly, but a number of them have come on the field to try and shake hands with the Senators. And there's no way we can resume the game unless they do stay in their seats and show their appreciation to these ball players by cheering as loudly as they can for the club as they perform on the field. Umpire-in-chief Jim Honachik has gone to the Yankee dugout, and he was greeted there by manager Ralph Houk. So the three umpires, O'Donnell, DeMuro, and plate umpire Odom, are all around home plate. And I guarantee you, New Year's Eve was never like this in Washington. We might have had a lot more people here on opening day, but they weren't more demonstrative than the crowd we have tonight. Now, the Senators are being waved back onto the field. Well, there are 14,460. Bidding farewell to the Washington Senators. We hope it's not goodbye. We hope it's just a brief so long. And then another major league team will be here in the nation's capital. Hopefully a team that someday can give the fans that long-awaited pennant that they have so patiently waited for. Paul Lindblad again taking his warm-up tosses. Here's the situation. We're in the 8th inning. The Yankees will send Thurman Munson, Ron Hansen, and Frank Baker against left-hander Paul Lindblad. The field is literally covered with paper. The outfield looks as though it's been snowing. Fans have torn up paper, tossed it in the air, gave a tremendously wild demonstration for Frank Howard as he unloaded his 26th home run to spark a 4-run uprising in the 6th inning. Munson is 1 for 3. Lindy fires a fastball too low, ball 1. Munson has struck out twice, and he singled to center his last time up. The pitch from Paul Lindblad is low, ball 2. Nice to have Rick LaFalce visiting tonight, witnessing the final game in Washington. 2 balls and no strikes. The pitch to Munson. He bunched on the third baseline. Lindy off the mound, quickly picks the ball up, throws the first off balance. Not in time. It's a bunt single for Thurman Munson, who can really fly even though he's a catcher. He has excellent speed, and he just proved it by beating out the bunt down the third base side. So Thurman is at first with nobody out in the Yankee 8th in this 5-5 game. And here is Ron Hansen. Hansen is struck out, fly to center, and hit into a third to second force. So Ron, who came in hitting .213, is 0 for 3. He squares to bunt, takes a pitch inside, ball 1. Howard was charging from first. Dave Nelson was charging from third. Five runs, 10 hits for the Senators. 5 runs, 9 hits, and 3 errors for New York. The bunt again, he misses it, and it's 1-1. So Hansen right now is trying to sacrifice Munson into scoring position here in the 8th inning. The pitch is in for strike 2, 1-2. Again, Hansen squared the bunt, laid off the pitch, but it was in the strike zone, catching the inside corner. 1 ball and 2 strikes. On Ron Hansen with Thurman Munson at first and nobody out in the Yankee 8th. The 1-2 coming. Line drive to the left field side, curving foul. It hooked foul as Hansen pulled it too much. And the count remains 1 ball and 2 strikes. The 1-2 coming, swung on and fouled back. Count holding at 1-2 on Hansen, with Frank Baker on deck. Now Gene Michael is moved into the on-deck circle, and he'll be pinch hitting for Baker. The 1-2 pitch. There's a ground ball to short. Toby up with it. Goes to second to 1. Rags' relay. In time for a double play. Toby Harrah to Tom Ragland to Frank Howard. And they're now 2 outs with nobody on. And Gene Michael, the batter.
That was the Senators' 169th of the year, Ron.
Baker is a switch hitter. Or Michael, rather, is a switch hitter, batting right-handed against the left-hander Lindblad. Pitches outside, ball 1. Gene is batting .224. As a left-hander, batting .226. As a right-hander, .222. The pitch is in for the strike. It's 1-1. Jack Aker, the next scheduled batter. But Philippe Alou has moved into the on-deck circle. The 1-1 coming. Swung on and fouled back. Count is 1 ball and 2 strikes. One ball and 2 strikes on Gene Michael, batting with 2 outs and nobody on. Lindblad shakes off one sign from Rich Billings, has the one he wants. The 1-2 on the way. Outside, ball 2. I want to thank Bert Hawkins for all his tremendous cooperation, the very personable road secretary and press relations officer. 2-2 pitch. A ground ball hit toward the hole, cut off nicely by Davey Nelson. Throws to first in time, and the Yankees are retired in the 8th inning. They come up with no runs on 1 hit, no errors, and nobody left. And the score after 7.5, Senators 5 and New York 5. We go to the bottom of the 8th inning. The Senators are facing relief pitcher Jack Aker, who has been brilliant since relieving starter Mike Kekich. The score is 5-5 as the Senators have 5 runs, 10 hits and no errors. New York 5 runs, 9 hits and 3 errors. Before Dave Nelson was set to stand in, he apparently came up with some dirt in his eye. Trainer Bill Ziegler out there now administering to him, trying to get the speck of dirt out of his eye. Davey says he's all right and stands in against Jack Aker. We're in the bottom of the 8th inning. 5-5 the score. Aker has a sign from Munson. The pitch is a curve inside, ball 1. Ron Hansen at third. He's guarding the line against a possible extra base hit. Gene Michael is at short in place of Frank Baker, who started. The 1-0 is swung on and missed. 1 ball and 1 strike. Horace Parks at second. John Ellis at first. Roy White in left. Bobby Mercer in center. And Rusty Torres in right field. The 1-1 on the way. There's a ground ball sharply hit off the arm of Gene Michael on into center field. Nelson takes a wide turn, and it's going to be an error on Gene Michael. So let's see if it's a costly error, as Davey Nelson was speed to burn as at first with nobody out. To 5 the score. The tie-breaking run at first base. Del Unser, the batter, he's a good bunter, and the Yankees are looking for the bunt. Aker delivers. Del bunts to the first base side. It rolls foul. Grabbed there by John Ellis and handed back to Jack Aker. As Munson, the catcher, Aker, the pitcher, and Ellis, the first baseman, all converged on the bunt and grabbed it as it rolled foul about 15 feet down the line. 1 strike to Del Unser. Now let's see if the bunt's still on, or whether this time he'll swing away. Unser has reached on an error, flied to right, and grounded out pitcher to first, driving in a run in the 6th inning. 1 strike pitch is high, 1 ball and 1 strike. Again, Ellis and Hansen charging from first and third. Throw to first, almost a wide throw, and John Ellis straddles Dave Nelson, sliding back in. One ball and one strike. It's 5-5. We're in the last of the 8th. The drama, the tension had been great. Nelson breaks for second. Unser throws his bat at the ball, and Nelson has just stolen second base. That time, Del Unser, to protect the runner, threw his bat at the ball. And the throw from Thurman Munson was off the mark. And Nelly, who leads the club in stolen bases with 16, has just pilfered number 17. He's the tie-breaking run. And in the last of the 8th inning, it could well be the winning run. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Del Unser. Aker at the belt. Rocks and fires. Swung on and missed strike 3. He got him with a sidearm pitch on the outside corner. Here's Tom Ragland. Paul Lindblad is scheduled to bat next. We may see a pinch hitter for him. Well, we'll just have to wait and see. Lindy is a pretty good hitting pitcher. One out, one on. Nelson at second in a 5-5 ball game. Ragland is 1 for 3. He takes a pitch outside corner, strike 1. He reached on an error by the shortstop. Single to center. Was called out on strike. Aker struck him out in the 6th inning. The 1-strike pitch. Low and outside, it's 1-1. Bobby Mercer now coming in, playing a very shallow center field. Now Bobby is retrieving a ball from the bullpen. One ball and 1 strike on Tom Ragland. Dave Nelson is at second, and there's 1 out. Aker at the belt, the 1-1 coming. There's a ground ball to third. Bobbled by Ron Hansen, picks it up, has no play. It'll be an error. It is. It's an error on Ron Hansen, and it's the 5th error tonight committed by the Yankees. I believe the Yankees are more unnerved by this ball game than the Senators are. Runners at first and second with 1 out. And Tom McCraw will pinch hit for Paul Lindblad. Am I wrong in my guess that the first time McCraw was a pinch hitter this year, he hit a home run?
I think it won the ball game.
So this may be Tom's last appearance in the Senators uniform. And wouldn't it be something if he hit one out of the park? Actually, a base hit would be just beautiful. With runners at first and second and 1 away. Dave Nelson leads second. Tom Ragland leads first. 1 away. The pitch to McCraw is outside. Ball 1. McCraw, left-hand batter. Aker at the belt. Kicks and fires. In for the strike. It's 1-1. One ball and one strike on Tom McCraw. The runners lead from first and second with one away. Last the eighth inning, 5-5 the score. Tommy checked his swing just in time. It's outside, ball two. 2 balls and 1 strike on Tom McCraw with Elliot Maddox on deck. Joe Grisenda is warming up in the bullpen. The 2-1 pitch. There's a line drive down the right field line, falling quickly and curving. It is a foul ball. Nelson, throw to the plate, in time, not in time, throw to third, not in time again. Nelson has crossed the plate with a go-ahead run. Racing for the ball was the right fielder, Rusty Torrey. He tried to make a shoestring catch just in fair territory. It was signaled no catch. Nelson crossed the plate with a 6th run. The Senators lead it 6-5. And safe at third is Tom Ragland. So the Senators have taken the lead. Texas leaguer down the right field line by Tom McCraw. Torres could not catch up with it. First base umpire Jake O'Donnell ruled that he had trapped the ball and his throw to the plate was not in time to get Dave Nelson. Still only 1 out. The batter. And Akers steps off the rubber. The pitch, a curve is low, ball 1. Runners on the corners. Ragland at third, McCraw at first. Stretching and pitching 1-0. There's a fly ball hit deep to right center field. Long run for Torrey. Back on a 1-inning track. He makes the catch. Ragland will score easily with a 7th run, and it's a 7-5 ball game. Senators leading. And before Toby Harrah bats, let's pause for station identification. This is the Washington Senators Baseball Network.
WWDC, AM and FM, Washington. Where'd you get it? At Jack Amatucci Chevy City, where the action is on everything from Vegas to Vets. Jack Amatucci Chevrolet, Bears Mill Road and Georgia Avenue in Wheaton.
Toby Harrah, the batter, with Tom McCraw at first. Pitch is swung on and missed, strike 1. Harrah is 1 for 4. An infield single to short in the first inning. Since then, he's fouled to the first baseman, grounded into a short to first double play, and fly to left. 1 strike on Toby. McCraw breaks for second. Pitch is swung and a miss. Throw to second is high, and he's out at second base. As coming down quickly on the base runner was Horace Clark, who put the tag on the in-sliding Tom McCraw for the final out of the inning. But in the 8th inning, the Senators pick up 2 runs. On 1 hit, there were 2 errors, and nobody was left. The score after 8, Senators 7 and New York 5. We have a new pitcher for the Senators coming in as The New York Yankees come to bat in the top of the ninth inning, trailing 7-5. What a wild and woolly ball game it's been. The Senators spotted the New York Yankees a 5-1 advantage, but roared back with 4 in the 6th, 2 in the 8th, and they now lead it 7-5. And Joe Grisenda will try and save it for Paul Lindblad. Joe has been a most pleasant surprise this year. He's 5-2. Is appearing in his 46th game of the year. Has worked 69 2/3 innings, allowed 54 hits, walked only 17, and 7 of those were intentional. Struck out 56. Has given up 2 homers, 19 runs, 15 of them earned, and has a sparkling 1.93 earned run average. So it's 7-5 on 7-11-0 for Washington, 5-9-5 for New York. A pinch hitter for the Yankees for Jack Aker. Philippe Alou. Alou hitting .286 with 8 home runs, 21 doubles, 6 triples, and 69 runs batted in. The pitch to Philippe, a ground ball is short. Toby up in it, bobbles it, picks it up, throws to first, in time to get Alou. Good recovery by Toby Harrah. And we are now 2 outs away from the conclusion of Major League Baseball in the nation's capital. Hopefully, it won't be too long. The fans have demonstrated their enthusiasm tonight. The batter is Bobby Mercer, who takes a pitch in for the strike. $14,460 showed up tonight. The 1-strike pitch is outside, 1-1. Mercer has flied to center, hit a 2-run homer, his 25th of the year. Then he grounded out first to the pitcher covering and walked. He swings and misses strike 2. 1 ball and 2 strikes on Bobby Mercer. He'll be the second leading batter in the American League, trailing only the batting champ Tony Oliva of the Minnesota Twins. The 1-2 coming is outside. It's 2-2. Bobby Mercer batting for the New York Yankees with 1 out and nobody on in the 9th inning. The 2-2 from Grisenda. Went back to Joe. He spears it. He throws to Tom McCraw at first, and there are 2 outs. Are coming out on the field. This will not be a complete game unless they get back. This will not be a complete game unless they get back. So we certainly hope that this ball game can be concluded. The players now are clearing the field as pandemonium is broken loose and the field is filled with many souvenir hunters. The Senators lead 7-5 with 2 outs. Police are trying to restore order, but the crowd continues to mill all around the field. Some fans are scooping up dirt. More and more now are converging on the field. The Senators are 1 out away from victory. The Yankees have 2 outs in the top of the 9th inning.
Realistically, they're a lot closer to defeat because they'll never get this ball game underway again. The bases are gone. There's a patrolman standing on home plate, another one on the mound, and they're very rapidly becoming outnumbered.
Of bodies on the field. Most of them just standing there, getting a glimpse of RFK Stadium, the site of Major League Baseball, perhaps for the last time. It may well be that the Senators will be denied their final victory. Now fans are converging upon the scoreboard. And again, the souvenir hunters are trying to get anything from the stadium. They are succeeding, and reinforcements have been called, and hopefully the field will be cleared so we can get the final out in this historic ball game.
Realistically, we wanted to take the National Guard to get them out here because there won't be much left of the scoreboard. It's like an army of ants out there going through the jungle. They're just chopping away at everything they can get their hands on.
It's a shame they couldn't have waited for one more out, but they didn't. And now the job at hand is to try and clear the field so this ball game can continue. The remainder of the fans, and I don't believe anyone has left this ballpark tonight, are watching the activity on the field. But it is activity every place. The scoreboard has been completely decimated. Nothing remains. I hope Norm Hammer does.
I wonder what's going on in Normie's mind out there right now. New York.
I believe Bert Hawkins has just said that this game will be forfeited to New York.
It has been.
Well, it's a strange way to lose a ball game. It's a strange way to wind up Major League Baseball in the nation's capital. But I guess it's been a topsy-turvy season. No one believed that there would not be Major League Baseball in the nation's capital. But it's sad to report there no longer is. How long Major League Baseball will stay away remains to be seen. The lights flicker here at RFK Stadium. And as the lights flicker, the hopes of that long-awaited pennant die with the lights. The last pennant, 1933. The last time the Senators were in the first division, 1946. The fans of Washington, over the years, have supported ball clubs that never have measured up on the field to the other clubs in the league. We can only hope that their loyalty over these many years will be rewarded in the near future with a new Major League franchise. Baseball is a great game. It's a game for everyone. But I think maybe George Soucy put it best when he said, Washington is not the capital of the United States, Washington is the capital of the world. And can you imagine the capital of the world not having Major League Baseball? Ladies and gentlemen, I can only say that it has been an extreme pleasure broadcasting Senators baseball for the last 3 years. I want to thank all of the members of the Washington Senators, my good friends on the team who have been so great, so cooperative. I also want to thank all the members of the Senators organization for their help and cooperation over the years. Vicky Magny, the switchboard operator, a real unsung hero who always had a pleasant word when people called the stadium. Kurt Hawkins and his wonderful secretary, Joan Flanagan. Oscar Malamott was a big help. When you take a look at the loyal people who've worked in the Senators' offices, dedicated to bringing the best possible service, you have to take your hats off. But I think tonight, the fans of Washington, who have suffered so long, have to be congratulated for their many years of loyal support. And also, I'd like to thank, and you hate to mention names because there's so many that will be omitted, but I want to thank George Minot, the outstanding baseball writer for the Washington Post. Merle Whittlesey, the outstanding baseball writer for the Washington Star. Charlie Raymond, the fine young writer who had only 1 year of Major League Baseball. My good friend Russ White of the Daily News. You could go on and on and on, thanking everyone. I'd like to take this opportunity right now to thank my broadcasting partner, Tony Roberts. It's been an extreme pleasure working with him this season, despite the fact we didn't have too many victories, and ironically, we lost one tonight on a forfeit because the field was completely decimated and the umpires forfeited the game to New York, even though the Senators had the lead 7-5. But Tony, it's been a lot of fun working with you, and I hope that our paths will cross many times in the future, and perhaps someday real soon we can be broadcasting the games of the Washington Senators again.
Well, not much more I can add to that. The only thing that was preserved here tonight was the rubber on the mound, because they came out and dug it up under police guard, and they're carting it off now to the center field area. Rule 417 in the rule book says a game shall be forfeited to the opposing team when a team is unable or refuses to place 9 players on the field. Well, the Senators were unable to continue because of the many fans on the field, and so this one will go into the record book as a New York Yankee victory. But I believe they still have home plate intact. I think an officer is still standing on home plate right now. Not a heck of a lot we can say. Ron, I certainly have enjoyed my 1 year with you, and just to echo your sentiments, why I hope that we can do it again sometime if